Welcome back to Real TV, and I'm Stephen King, the real Stephen King. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It don't cost a thing. But see, this the real reason why I created Real TV, man, so I can expose this world for what it is that we exist in. And this brother right here, Chairman Fred Hampton, was special, man. And we're going to discuss all the reasons why he was special and the reasons why I got him murdered. You know, a lot of people from Chicago, they talk about Larry Hoover, they talk about Jeff Ford, but this brother doesn't get the recognition that he gets. See, this is the real reason why them brothers like Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover got buried under the concrete. Because it was a COINTELPRO project, man, that never ended with the FBI. And they was assassinating our people, man. The ones that were serious about liberation, they were assassinating them, man. But I want y'all to just listen to this brother, man. 21 years old. Just listen to his mind and his genius. And we're going to get back to the real reasons why they murdered this brother. And these other brothers that I'm going to talk about too.
Said the Black Panther Party that they can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that. You're going to have to say that I am a proletarian. I am the people. I'm not the pig. You got to make a distinction. And the people are going to have to attack the pig. The people are going to have to stand up against the pigs. That's what the Panthers are doing. That's what the Panthers are doing all over the world.
See, Fred Hampton was serious about freedom. He was serious about equality. And he knew more than anybody else the challenges that he was facing with this system, man. See, J. Edgar Hoover had a COINTELPRO project to stop the rise of a black messiah. Anybody that could electrify the people. Anybody that could bring the people together. And it was a series of hits that allegedly the FBI was involved in. And it's continuing to come to the light. Y'all got to think about this, man. Martin Luther King, born January 15th, 1929. Assassinated April 4th, 1968, at the age of 39. And I don't know what's the significance of 3, but it's my life path, man. And it just had me question this whole reality that we exist in. Martin Luther King was 39 years old. 3 plus 9 equals 3. Malcolm X, born May 19th, 1925, assassinated February 21st, 1965, died at 39 years old. Fred Hampton, born August 30th, 1948, assassinated December 4th, 1969, 21 years old. 2 plus 1 equals 3. That's this war that's been going on that nobody speaks of. Like, these are your ancestors, man. Was trying to free you from this tyrannical system. Ain't never been a such thing as free speech, man. These brothers' legacies speak about the hatred that these people have for free speech and free minds. But I want y'all to check this out, man. This talks about the collusion of the FBI and the Chicago police and the higher-ups that was monitoring this whole situation when they shot this man in the head 2 times as he laid in the bed. But y'all check this out. Listen to this, man.
As Black History Month begins today, we look back at the assassination of Black Panther leader Fred Hampton in Chicago 51 years ago, and how new documents reveal more details about the FBI's role in the murder of the 21-year-old revolutionary. Fred Hampton was killed December 4th, 1969, when Chicago police raided his apartment and shot and killed him in his own bed. Black Panther leader Mark Clark was also killed by police in that raid. Authorities initially claimed the Panthers had opened fire on the police who were there to serve a search warrant for weapons. Evidence later emerged that told a very different story. The FBI, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, and Chicago police had conspired to assassinate Fred Hampton. Now, several hundred pages of FBI memos and reports obtained by historian and writer Aaron Leonard through a Freedom of Information Act request document that the director of the FBI's Domestic Intelligence Division, William Sullivan, and the head of the extremist section of the Domestic Intelligence Division, George Moore, both played key roles in planning the raid and the cover-up that followed. For more on what these documents say, we're joined by Flint Taylor and Jeff Haas, founding members of the People's Law Office in Chicago, who are the lead lawyers in the landmark Fred Hampton and Mark Clark civil rights case. Their new piece for Truth Out is headlined, "New Documents Suggest J. Edgar Hoover Was Involved in Fred Hampton's Murder." Jeff Haas, let's begin with you. You wrote a book about Fred Hampton. Talk about what these new documents show and what you see as the smoking gun of J. Edgar Hoover's direct involvement.
Thank you, Amy. Well, first of all, it's 51 years after the incident and 40-some years after the trial. We had never gotten these documents before. But what they showed was that Hoover and Sullivan and Moore were following Roy Mitchell, a special agent in charge, very closely with regard to O'Neill. And they were complimenting him and rewarding him from the moment he gave the information and the floor plan to Special Agent Mitchell. They were congratulating Mitchell on what a wonderful job he did with this informant. Of course, Mitchell got the floor plan, gave it to Hanrahan's police, and that's what led to the raid. The floor plan even showed the bed where Hampton and Johnson would be sleeping. So we knew much of this. We knew O'Neill had gotten a bonus. We never knew Mitchell got a bonus. And we never knew that Hoover and Sullivan and Moore were starting to watch this in November, 10 days before it happened. They were monitoring exactly what went on. And so it was approved at the highest level. And during the trial, we had sought to go up to Sullivan and Moore and Hoover, but the judge wouldn't allow us, and we thought perhaps even John Mitchell and Richard Nixon were involved. We didn't have these documents, so we couldn't uncover that. This also shows that after the raid, the head of the FBI in Chicago met with and congratulated the informant O'Neill, thanked him for his information, which led to the success of the raid. What's also interesting is 51 years later, these documents still have redactions. There's a specific redaction because an FBI agent had been called in front of a grand jury, and he was told, if you get asked any questions about blank, which is the FBI, leave the grand jury and report to your higher-ups. A year after the raid, the FBI role and COINTELPRO had never been disclosed. It was only about Hanrahan and the police. So it took us 13 years to uncover that it was COINTELPRO, a program whose objective was disrupt, destroy, and neutralize the Panthers, and specifically prevent the rise of a black messiah like Fred Hampton, who could unify and electrify the masses. It was this FBI program that led to the passing of the floor plan and the 90 shots, and Fred Hampton executed in his bed at 2:30 in the morning on December 4th.
So y'all hear from y'allself, from the family attorneys, man. They have been fighting for decades, man, to expose the truth, to expose the world that we really living in. And that's why I really believe that the Bible is a living book. You know, Pharaoh, when he heard that a Messiah was being born, he put an edict out to kill all the boys, man. You know, you got to be a student of history to really understand this world that you're living in. Because these people constantly try to shape reality through their media, through their movies, through the radio, through all forms of communication. They try to shape reality. So you really have to become a student and study this world that you're living in to understand your position and the fights that you really up against. These people were terrorized. Their families was terrorized because all they wanted was freedom and equality. And they say that this is the greatest country in the world. But are you really free? Do you really question your reality? Do you really understand the circumstances and the conditions on how this world really work and operate? Where the people that claim to be good are really evil, and the people that they claim to be bad are really the good. But I'm gonna talk to y'all later, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Send some prayers up to the ancestors and start living in a way that shows your appreciation. This is Real TV, and I'm Stephen King, the real Stephen King. And if this message resonates with you, hit that like, share, and subscribe button and continue to support this channel.